Oh, why, hello. It's Miss Gina, and you're at Gina's Planet. And I recently flew to a small island called Ireland. It's right here on my globe. It's tiny, tiny, tiny. That one right there. It's next to London and the UK there. That's Wales. Liverpool's right there. But anyway, I came into an airport in Shannon, and Shannon's also a river, but the airport is the Shannon Airport as well. And I flew in a plane, nothing like this. This is actually a water plane, I believe. I believe these planes are designed to, whoop, that's a helicopter, to land on water, the blue part of my globe. And this didn't look like my plane at all, but it represents that I flew in a plane. But I flew from the United States, which is right here. And I am right above Florida, in a state called Georgia. I'm in between Tennessee. And I flew out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. And I went to Atlanta, Georgia. And then I flew to London, the Heathrow Airport. And then I flew into Shannon. And I landed. So I flew across here. I went across the North Atlantic Ocean. And there's the ocean. And then I landed in the airport in Shannon in Ireland. And I saw all kinds of castles. There are a lot of big castles because there were a lot of kings that used to live in castles in Ireland, and there's still a lot of old castle ruins and old castles that have been restored. And so there's a lot of things there to see and do and learn about. There's a lot of history in Ireland. So I learned a lot, saw a lot, and that was my short geography lesson. And while I was there, I picked up a book called The 109 Story Treehouse. It's by Andy Griffiths and Terry Denton. And it was €9. They use a different type of money in Ireland and in most of Europe. And London uses a pound, what they call a pound. But you paid in euros. This book was €9 where I got it at. And I paid €9 for it. I did. I had to transfer my American dollars into euros. And our dollar is not worth as much as what a euro is worth. It is less valuable, our dollar. But anyway, this is a tree house. It says, come on up. We've added 13 new levels to our biggest tree house yet, including our electric pony stable, a kangaroo riding range, a whatever weather you want dome, a hall of fun house mirrors, which is perfect place to hide from school truancy officer who's trying to catch us and make us go to school. But Anti-Andy, Terrible Terry, and Junkyard Jill, our troublemaking opposites, are trapped in one of the mirrors and they want out. Oh, and Mr. Big Nose wants us to write another book or else. Can we avoid school, defeat our doppelgangers, and get our book done in time? We're going to find out. That's what we're doing. So they've been taken to school. They have done show and tell. And now we are on Chapter 7, Principal Grad Grind. So let's see what happens next. We're on Chapter 7, and it starts on page 129. The door opens, and a man wearing a military uniform marches into the room and glares at us. Everybody in the class, including Miss Treacle, jumps to attention. Well, everybody except Terry. Who's still swinging from the ceiling fan? I think it's Terry. Good morning, Principal Gradgrind, says Mrs. Treacle. Good, he shouts. I don't see anything good about it. I can hardly hear myself think above all the noise coming from this classroom. Well, you should think louder then, says Terry. That's what I do when it gets too noisy in the treehouse. Who said that? Says Principal Gradgrind, looking all around him. I did, up here. Principal Gradgrind looks up and sees Terry. What on earth are you doing up there? He says. Get down at once. Get down. And I keep looking that way because my ceiling fan is going. Because when it's 100 degrees, you need your ceiling fans and your AC in the South in Georgia. In Northwest Georgia gets pretty hot too. South Georgia's probably baking. Not like B-A-C-O-N, but baking, B-A-K-I-N-G, as in hot. I'd be happy to, says Terry, but it's not that easy. My emergency inflatable underpants are stuck in the fan. Then I'd advise you to get them unstuck as fast as possible, says Principal Gradgrind. I'll try, says Terry. He pulls and tugs at his underpants. There's a loud ripping noise, and then he falls and lands right on top of Principal Gradgrind. Get off me this instant, says Principal Gradgrind, struggling to get out from underneath Terry. I offer Terry my hand and pull him up. Principal Gradgrind struggles to his feet and turns to face Miss Treacle. What is going on here? He says, may I remind you that this is a classroom, not a circus, Miss Treacle. But you see, we have some new students, and they don't know all the rules yet. Well, they better learn them, and fast, says Principal Gradgrind, glaring at Terry and Jill and me. And one of the most important rules is no swinging from the ceiling fan. No swinging from the ceiling fan. Remember that when you're in school. There is no swinging from the ceiling fan. Why not, says Terry. Why not, shouts Principal Gradgrind. Because it's a rule, and why not? And speaking of rules, what's the rabbit doing in here? We have a strict no animals policy. You know, no bringing animals of any kind to school. Is that clear? Yes, I suppose so, says Jill. But I didn't bring the rabbit with me. It came flying in through the window. All I did was catch it. There they are counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're counting on their board. There's their numbers, 1 through 10. And Jill's right. She just caught it. It flew right in the window. Well, if you'd bothered learning the rules, excuse me, you'd also know we have a strict no catching policy as well, says Principal Gradgrind. He unrolls a long piece of paper and starts reading. No catching balls, no catching coals, no catching trains, and above all, no catching rabbits. You three had better hurry up and learn the rules by 3:30 today, or else. Or else. Doesn't sound good. Principal Gradgrind rolls up his list of rules and stomps out of the room. Everyone breathes a sigh of relief. including Miss Treacle. Is it time for our lunch yet, says Terry. Yes, says Miss Treacle. Out you go. Yay, says Terry. Chapter 8 is called Time Out. So we'll catch that one next time. I hope you enjoyed that. And I had two short Mother Goose rhymes we were going to read in the beginning. But I forgot, so let's read them now. It was just a hey diddle diddle and a Lucy Locket. Hey diddle diddle. Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle. The cow jumped over the moon. The little dog laughed to see such craft. And the dish read... Excuse me, I've still got that cough. Wouldn't make it at that school. Sorry. Ooh, and the dish ran away with the spoon. Lucy Locket lost her pocket. Kitty Fisher found it. Excuse me. There was not a penny in it, but a ribbon round it. Anyway, those were two little short Mother Goose rhymes. I hope you enjoyed this story about the 169-story treehouse. I'd never make it with the not catching a cold. At school, one that Mr. Gradgrind's on the rule list. I'd never make it. So I hope you had a great day, and I enjoyed you being at Gina's Planet, and I hope you'll come back next time, and I'll see you next time. And have a great day. Bye-bye. Remote. There it goes.